Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Season 28 ISFL Draft Extravaganza. We got a great show for you guys tonight, so just kick back, relax, and let's have some fun and watch some of our favorite players get drafted. I am Whatamus. I'll be hosting tonight, and I have already started drinking. With me, we have a great cast of panelists that will be helping me out throughout the stream. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi there, I'm Lasoon. I'm the General Manager for the Orange County Otters, and I am drinking water because caffeine will make me stay up too late.
Hello, I'm Frostbite. I'm the GM of the ultimate winning Sarasota Sailfish, and I too am drinking water.
Hello, I am Hortle. I am Philly's new offensive line, and I am also drinking water.
Hello, I'm Hotspur. I'm the GM of the Dallas Bird Dogs. I'm here so that nothing goes wrong, and I drank way too much iced tea. So now, yeah.
Hey, I'm the CC. I'm a GM of the Chicago Butchers, and like Whatamus, I am also drinking.
Hi, I'm Tom Hanks. I'm the DSFL Commissioner, and I am also celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Hey guys, I'm Zan. I'm the GM of the New York Silverbacks, and I'm not drinking anything, not even water.
And I'm hiding around here trying to make a corned beef.
Lovely. All right. Well, that is going to be our cast for this evening. And yeah, all right. I believe up first we have Tom Hanks is going to announce our first pick.
Yeah. With the first overall pick in the draft, the Baltimore Hawks are going to select Luke Quick out of Kansas City. So Big Red is well known in the league. This is a special one for Baltimore. I have a note here from Frick saying that looking at their roster and going based off the plans that they're putting in place for the Hawks for the future, we're looking for somebody who knows how to build a wide receiver that's done it before. So everybody knows Nate Swift. He's a known max earner. And easily, I think we can also all agree, one of the best users in the league, comfortably. 2 years ago, if it wasn't for Big Red, he's just one of the most genuine people and nice people in the league. And Frick, personally, he's a big Huskers fan. So they had to take him number one overall in the DSFL, number one in the ISFL, number one in his heart.
All right, you love to see it. As the GM of the Kansas City Coyotes, seeing Luke Quick, Big Red go first overall just absolutely warms my heart. All right, Tom Hanks, you're up once again.
And with that second overall pick, this was a trade that Baltimore made with Austin earlier in the season. They got 2 first-round picks, and this one ended up being the second overall pick. So they are choosing, also out of Kansas City, with us tonight, user Infinite MPG, Goose.
Honk honk.
There he is.
So this is another long-time user. Been here since the beginning for Frick, anyway. And the first person to truly believe in Frick in this league, took a chance on him because there were plenty other linebackers in the initial S15 draft. And just from talking with each other, and when Frick started out, he was a data slave for Infinite on the events team. And they just really connected. Great conversations, and he's thrilled to be able to return the favor of Infinite drafting him the first time and drafting him to Baltimore.
Also,
I gotta say that
that
render is just
it's beautiful,
amazing.
isn't it?
right.
And it's chasing Luke Quick too, which I think
Oh, I
is the
didn't
best.
even notice that.
Oh my
that's
god,
so cool.
neither did I. I love it.
Fantastic. Very cool. Yeah, another Kansas City guy. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. All right, up next we got the Orange County Otters.
And so, with the third overall pick, the Orange County Otters proudly select Anton Bruckner, user Grag9 from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. And he's still got his old offensive line render. You'd love to see it. So when it comes to Greg, he's really been on our radar since I believe I first updated him, and he asked me to ping him every time because he was keeping tabs on the entire draft class. He's been incredibly active. He's been putting out some quality analysis, and really, he's just been a treat to talk to. So I don't think we could have gone wrong by picking him, and I think he'll be great for Orange County for the long-term future.
Absolutely. Fantastic pick there at number 3. Number 4 overall, we have the Philadelphia Liberty.
And with the 4th overall pick, the Philadelphia Liberty select Titans fan, Xavier Walls, the DE out of Portland. Titans, one of my guys as the new GM on Portland. He's been super active, earns well. Messaged me a day before we started drafting saying he wanted to come to Philly, and I'm super glad we could get him in.
Absolutely. You love to see it. All right, up next with the 5th overall pick, we have the Berlin Fire Salamanders.
And with the 5th pick, Berlin will be selecting a trade.
What? Oh my goodness. It's a trade alert, ladies and gentlemen. Our first trade of the ISFL Season 28 draft.
Beep, beep, beep.
All right, who's reading this one off?
I am. So with the actual 5th pick of the draft, the Arizona Outlaws are selecting Pib, user out of London, Glenn Smart. Crunk gave me a message to read out. In a class with a large number of distinguished recreates and some incredible new users, Pib stood out for his skill set, attitude, and enthusiasm to join us in Arizona. As soon as we got the opportunity to move up and take him, we didn't think twice. When Glenn Smart gets bored of terrorizing DSFL quarterbacks, we look forward to unleashing him on the ISFL.
Alrighty. Great capital right there. And with the 6th overall pick on the clock right now are the New York Silverbacks.
And with the 6th pick, New York will be selecting Mongo by Machine Earned Runs. Murr's been someone who's seems very eager to play for us. He's been asking our scouts a lot of questions. And also we have a connection because he used to be GM'd by one of our guys, Moosey. So we knew this guy and he would love to play for us. So we had to take him here and he'll be a big part of our future. And also Chase Young is a great player and he picked really well with his render.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right. Up with 7th pick overall.
All right, at 7 overall, the San Jose SaberCats end up selecting Juno Hu, user JOO from Tijuana. I actually have some notes from CK on this guy. JOO00 comes very highly regarded from his GMs in Tijuana and from the scouting conversations, and seems to be addicted to the league already, and they're very excited to add him to the squad. Who has been very active in all the Discord chats I've seen him in, and I'm with San Jose's trouble at drafting cornerbacks. Hopefully, he'll be able to fix that.
Alrighty. Next up with 8th overall, we have the Yellowknife Wraiths.
And so, with the 8th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Yellowknife Wraiths proudly select Andrew Warhol, also from the Minnesota Grey Ducks by the user Scorch. And they've told me that when it comes to Scorch, Fly fell in love with him during just the initial conversation. Then when both Money and Fly spoke with him, they were both convinced that he'd never make it to them. So when he fell to Yellowknife at 8, they were absolutely ecstatic, and they're super happy to have him here. And I can personally attest from my own scouting conversation, this dude is just great. I am honestly very upset because I thought there might have been a chance he would have fallen, but Yellowknife got a great one here.
Absolutely correct. Moving on. Berlin's Fire Salamanders on the clock at number 9.
And with the 9th pick in the draft, Berlin will be taking Troy Abed, a quarterback from Kansas City. by Noah Nick. DeWalt said that he was a prospect that stood out to us during the scouting process and was very active when joining our locker room. We talked to Noah Nick off and on throughout much of the draft process, and they shot up our board very quickly, becoming one of our top prospects in the entire class. We are excited to bring such an excellent user to our team and someone who actually lives in Berlin.
Saying, how can you not do the song?
Troy and Abed throwing touchdowns.
Oh, that was perfect. There we go. All right. Yeah, as a Kansas City GM, Noah Nick is just one of my favorite people in the whole world, and super stoked to see him go here. Hope he has a bright future. All right, number 10 on the clock.
With the 10th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select linebacker Dexter Hall, user First Fray. I was super excited about this pick. I was the one that scouted First Fray for Chicago, and we had a great conversation. With this pick, we're getting a really nice user. They have a good bank account. Several mocks that I saw had First Fray going quite a bit higher than 10, so I hope they aren't too upset about landing with us, but we're stoked that they ended up falling. They seem like a true team player, and I know that they're going to be a great addition to our team.
I can personally attest to that. First Fray is fantastic, has been super helpful with our scouting process over in Kansas City, and just an overall great user and great person. You got a great one there. All right, number 11 on the clock, and this is going to be the 11th overall pick from the Colorado Yeti. With the 11th overall pick, Colorado selects Manhattan Project, Modern Duke.
Oh my god, that render.
That's phenomenal.
That's the top tier render there.
And I have a little note here from the Yeti. For those curious, this was easily the fastest draft pick, clocking in at just under 5 seconds. I originally met Duke in London as he was part of the GM pair there that drafted me there as part of the Season 23 class. Since then, Duke has been a fixture in every locker room I've ever been a part of in this league, and he's become someone I rely on to slap some sense into me when I need it. Being able to bring him back was a huge priority for me this draft, and we're extremely thankful he fell to 11th overall, allowing us to make that a reality. However, we ask that this draft pick not distract you from the fact that London is, and always will be, the better DSFL expansion team. American clergyman Douglas Horton once said, "If you love something, let it go free. If it doesn't come back, you never had it. If it comes back, love it forever." Turns out, we'll be loving Duke forever, here in Colorado.
Oh,
That was like a full-on speech.
God,
Absolutely, that was beautiful, and I'm glad I got to read that. All right,
And the
next
voice
up-
to go with it, that was fantastic
Oh,
to listen to.
please. Wow, too sweet. All right, Honolulu up, number 12 on the clock.
and with the 12th pick of the Season 28 ISFL draft, Honolulu Hahalua select Professor Godfrey Gravity from KCC as well. Man, KCC gets all the first rounders this year.
Who had the over under 5?
I have something from Sid and Adam to talk here. And when Gravity fell all the way to our pick, the War Room and me, which is Sid in this case, were very surprised. We had personally placed him as a top 5 prospect. So when we found out we were getting a bottom 4 pick, did not think we had a chance at all. We were very lucky to have him fall. Also, fall, Gravity, haha. And after we saw him available, we knew that we had to take him with this pick. Defensive line has been a position we have looked at almost every single draft of Honolulu's existence, and there was no difference here. We look forward to having Gravity on our roster and making an impact on the locker room and the field. Yes, that's what we say. And I can welcome you personally into our locker room. Great pick. Happy to have you here.
You should be very happy. Zoram is, you can't say enough good things about Zoram. Just fantastic person, fantastic user, great War Room member in Kansas City. Glad you guys got him there. All right.
Yes.
Nolo, you're up at number 13.
I mean, before I get into the Noel pick, just a big shout out there. That's 12 picks, 5 of them off Kansas City, which is unbelievably impressive and just a testament to how well you guys have done as GMs in KCC this year.
Oh man, we're super stoked about that. It's it's the effort of our entire War Room and just the players and the community. So, hats off to everyone.
All right. And with the 13th pick in the draft, New Orleans second line will be selecting Cade Williams, user Dude Man out of Tijuana. I have a statement here from Myth saying, every once in a while, a great locker room fit and a max earner at a big position of need falls to you in the draft. When that happens, you snatch them up. Contemplated trading down in the draft here, but ultimately could not pass up the opportunity to draft Dude Man. Will join reigning OL of the year, Adam Mellett, to form a formidable foundation for our offensive line. So, I think all the GMs here can attest to the fact that a lot of teams were trying to trade up for this kind of run of picks here. There were a lot of offers on the table for all these last picks, but being in the NOLA War Room, I mean, it was just, if we trade out of here, we're not going to get our guy, and we'll pull the trigger when that's the scenario, right?
Absolutely. Got to pull the trigger. All right. With the last pick in the first round, Sarasota's on the clock.
Sarasota is finally up. All right, I picked 14 overall. Sarasota Sailfish are going to select a trade.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm back on the clock.
All right. Do we want to read the full trade out or just let people look at it?
Yeah, so Sarasota moves back 4 spots in intern. They get to bring back Carpasi, who we traded last offseason in the Mojo trade. So we get to retain another defensive end.
And Baltimore gets another first-round pick.
And then Baltimore has the third first round.
You can never have too many first-round picks. All right, with the 14th pick in the draft, Baltimore will be selecting Shunt the Badger, user Ultimate Yeehaw, out of Dallas. So from Frick with the 14th overall pick, we trade. It's a so they said that she's wonderful. Frick was updating her in Dallas, and he was thinking, wow, this person has a crap ton of TPE. They're going to be top notch in this league. Now, most people here, I'm kind of there's a whole long thing I'm not going to into here, but it's just they really connected with the user here. She wanted to come up right away, and that was definitely something they could fit in their system right now, because as a lot of people know, Baltimore is in a rebuild mode. So people that want to be on the team, want to come up right away, and want to be in it for the long haul is really the priority here. So they ended up making a trade that they thought was going to benefit both them and Sarasota, get their player, and everybody's happy. They're really focused on building this locker room in this draft, and with these first 3 picks, I think they're taking really good strides towards that.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first round. We are on to round 2, and that means we are on to beer number 2. Fantastic. All right.
Only on number 2?
I'm slow.
There we go. I got my second one open too.
There you go. Okay. Moving right along. Round 2. First on the board, Philadelphia Liberty at 15 overall.
So with the 15th overall pick, the Philly Liberty select Romulus Roman, user Almos out of Tijuana. Seeing Almos fall to this part of the draft was absolutely stunning. We had a super high grade on him, and with Joey advocating hard to actually take him at 4th overall, we're great that we could steal him, or excited that we could steal him here. Excuse me. He's been a lot of fun to talk to and get to know. And we're excited to have him and Titan in the locker room together. Almost is going to bring an exciting and enthusiastic presence to the locker room, and we're looking forward to the D&D games we get out of them.
Absolutely. Again, you love to see it. Alrighty. Round 2, 16 overall. Austin Copperheads are going to select Bailey Cowabunga from user J Cordesai 181. Or J Cordesai 81. The 1 looks like a I. The I looks like a 1. From the Dallas Bird Dogs, we have a note here from Moody saying, What? We took Joe? This is a huge mistake. We thought he was someone else. Joking, of course. Joe is one of the founders of Austin, and being able to keep a max earning, Hall of Fame, department head, locker room darling in with a second round pick is an absolute steal. Bailey Cowabunga, welcome back to Austin.
I am shocked.
Absolute shocker. Yeah, no, I'm stoked being an Austinite myself. This will be great having Jay back in there, man. Killer. All right, Oko, back up.
Seen that happening. But with the 17th overall pick, the Orange County Artists proudly select Vander Rodriguez, tight end, user shrub from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. So first and foremost, the first thing that this user's told me in scouting spoke to my soul. Joining the league and finding out that it gave us an excuse to learn Photoshop. Truly, after that, I was already in love. But furthermore, with just like, the more that I spoke to them, the more that I just really, really enjoyed their outlook on the league, their outlook on team building, their outlook on life. And I was super stoked to bring Shrub here and to especially make him teammates with his fellow Grey Duck, Greg.
Absolutely.
New Minnesota pipeline.
Fantastic render as well.
It's because Blaz is our updater in Minnesota now. He's taking all the ducks.
Alrighty.
All right. At 18 overall, the Sarasota Sailfish are going to select the reigning DSFL Offensive Lineman of the Year, Stumpy Jones. This is a player that we were actually going to take at 14 overall until Baltimore offered their trade. And to get a player that's already hit the DSFL cap entering the draft in the second round is crazy. And I'm just super stoked to have him on the team.
He's the TDE leader right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a tie with Stadium Gambler, I think.
Because he's my SHL GM. He's a great guy. It's a really good pick by Sarasota here.
And
Yeah,
another fantastic render. All right, Berlin Fire Salamanders on the clock.
And with the 19th pick in the draft, Berlin will be taking Dexter Zalian of the Bondi Beach Buccaneers from Laser. DeWalt said, "Our QB of the future. Laser is an outstanding, dedicated member to this league. He had a fantastic run with OCO when stepping into the GM role from almost day one as a rookie. We are excited to add such a fantastic user who we believe will help us both on and off the field and in the war room."
All right, very good, very good.
Reach.
Moving right along. We have Noah up on the clock at 20.
This is also, by the way, the second quarterback in 2 picks Berlin has taken, which I think is an interesting choice.
It's a 2 QB system.
I'm kind of low-key salty.
Next big thing. That's what Sarasota's doing.
All right. With the 20th overall pick, New Orleans second line will be selecting Valen is Remus Roman. Valen was one of New Orleans' favorite scouting conversations. He's friendly and enthusiastic about the league. And running back isn't necessarily a huge priority for New Orleans, but I know they talked with him about potentially switching positions and things like that, and he seems like a real team player. So they're really looking forward to adding him to the locker room, getting him on the roster, and seeing what the future holds.
Very cool, very cool. The other Roman brother goes. Next up, Baltimore on the clock.
Right, that's me again. So the 21st overall pick, the Baltimore Hawks will be drafting King Jellyfish, player Makoa Mahai. So this is another one that Frick, because just kind of as a GM, I know some people scout differently with like questionnaires, things like that. Likes to really do kind of personal interviews and talk to who he thinks is going to fit with the locker room and kind of they enjoy the vibe of. And you know they get to. He specifically highlighted adding a Euro guy to the team. Somebody can chat with Theath because Theath does not sleep. So in the hours everybody else is asleep, they have somebody up there to chat, so they can turn their locker room into a 24-hour-a-day chat. And he also wanted to highlight the graphics that King Jellyfish does, because they're phenomenal, and looking forward to adding him to the team.
Absolutely. King Jellyfish, also a good friend of Noah Dix. Yellowknife, you're on the board at 22 overall.
And so, with the 22nd overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Yellowknife Rovers proudly select Eric Garr, running back from the user Malpasant and the Dallas Bird Dogs. And so Mooney told me that Mal was another one of the prospects on Yellowknife's shortlist. And at this point in the second round, they really felt that Mal was the best possible active user and was also an amazing prospect from their conversations. As we know, Yellowknife's had some unlucky fortune with running backs, and so they're really hoping that Mal can step in and become their running back of the future.
As his GM, I just want to say how great of a pick that is, and that's such a good value at this point. He's been amazing in our locker room, awesome and fun to talk to. And he's a very special rookie, so hold him dear and near, Yellowknife, because I'm so happy you guys have him on your team, because he's amazing.
Also, that's a sick Yellowknife tattoo on his arm there.
Yeah, it is.
All right. OCO on the clock, 23rd overall.
Oh god, we are. And so with the 23rd overall pick, the Orange County Otters proudly select Sam. I know that it says the Onion Man there, but I know that he doesn't want to be called it. So we'll just go with Sam from Duilio, who's proudly from my alma mater, the Norfolk Seawolves. Honestly, there's the biggest knock against Duilio is that he's a 49ers fan. Outside of that, he has an incredible beard. He does an incredible job, and we think that we really lucked out to get someone with like his goals at this point in the draft, and it just really aligns with our goals as a team, and we're so looking forward to having him up here next season.
Absolutely. All right, up next at 24th overall.
With the 24th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select safety Tim Solja, user Painted. I know nothing about this user. Next pick. No, Painted is one of my favorite users in the whole class. I was actually working the phones trying to trade up with him, or trade up for the last several picks to get him. He somehow ended up making it to us, so I guess it's a good thing nobody accepted my trade offer. He was a member of my final draft class as Minnesota's GM last offseason. He's super fun in the locker room. He's a good earner. He does media. We already have 2 safeties on our squad, but Painted is clearly better than Thunder Titans, so maybe we'll just end up cutting him or something. I don't know.
Alrighty, moving right along. With the 25th overall pick, the Colorado Yeti select Cole Maxwell, user Alcott, safety from the Dallas Bird Dogs. And I have a note here on Cole Maxwell from the Yeti. He's a little quiet, but a solid earner and a great guy. I have heard this probably 10 times from various elite people in regards to Alcott during scouting or even after we made this pick. And I have to be honest, that surprised me a lot. I had the pleasure of having an amazing conversation with Alcott leading up to the draft, and honestly thought he had a chance of sneaking into the back end of the first. So to find him here late in the second is fantastic value. We feel good that in Alcott we've found a defensive cornerstone for seasons to come, and look forward to seeing him continue to develop in the league. Good stuff there from Colorado. Up next, Honolulu on the clock.
With the 26th pick in the season 28 ISFL draft, Honolulu selects Rainey Clark from the Norfolk Seawolves, user Bex. And I have again a little thing to say. First of all, high overdue. Second of all, with 40 teams, that means that every pick becomes even more valuable since you pick less times. Great math, Sid. Great math. With our second round pick, which is the last one in our draft, I think no one can argue that Bex isn't the perfect pick from where we were. A great person from every chat anyone has ever had with her, and someone who generally cares about the league. Also someone who will make a guaranteed impact with her player, with 3 to 4 great conversations with her, and every single chat reinforced the belief that there was no one better we could pick here. Also, he wants me to make a Honolulu joke, which I don't do, but great to have you on the team, Bex.
Am I the only one that has no idea who this user is?
I haven't been around that long, but I can't say I do either.
No, I think they like to stick in their team locker room. I don't think I've ever seen him before.
Just a very, very quiet, understated user, I think.
Unfortunately, I don't think they'll ever get a league job.
Yeah, how can you tell if she will be able to make money in this league?
I don't know. We took a gamble here, I know.
Speaking of gambles and people, you're not sure how they will make money in this league. With 27 overall, New Orleans will be selecting JPack. Player, is he really invisible? Oh my god, the render is everything I wanted it to be.
Oh, that render is
It's phenomenal.
beautiful.
Wow.
Love it. All right, so from Myth, we were fortunate so many amazing quarterbacks were in this draft. As a result, we were able to get JPack in the late second round of the draft. Certainly great value for a max earning user who has already contributed so much to the league. Myth was drafted to both Tijuana and New Orleans with JPack in the same draft class. And they're really good friends. He's a great user, NOLA alum. Everybody's thrilled to have him back. He's just fantastic in the locker room. They're looking to plan for the future and eventually replace the reigning MVP, Ben Roethlisberger.
God, that render is so good. Anyways,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
still looking at the render because it's just so good.
no, I'm sorry.
Nobody cares what I have to say. Just focus on the render.
I'm sorry I had to move off the slide, but we are crunching for time here. All right.
All right. No, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that you are on the clock.
All right. At 28 overall, the Sarasota Sailfish are going to select Kelvin Harris, user Astrophy, also known as Gene on Discord. His TP's a little lower, but I absolutely loved my conversation with him when scouting. And we don't have a lot of Norfolk representation in Sarasota. I like to keep us varied in users, and I really just believe he's going to be a good safety in the future. And I'm really happy to have him on the team.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And we are into round 3. And with round 3, Philadelphia is on the clock.
And with the 29th pick, the Philadelphia Liberties select Ace, CJ Sonjak, CB out of London. I'm going to read a little message from Wildfire, who I know is super excited to have Ace on the team. Ace is an amazing user, and it's criminal to me that he fails so far. He has over 30 seasons of SHL GMing and is, in fact, Wildfire's GM. He comes to Philadelphia from the express recommendation of Wildfire from my time in both London and on his SHL team. He earns like crazy, and he says he wants to be a Hall of Famer here too. So at the third round, super excited to get this user.
Absolutely. Seems like great value there. Moving right along. At 30 overall, Austin Copperheads select Daniel O'Leary, user Mango8154, defensive tackle from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. And I have a note here from Austin. Let me find it real quick. Pretty much all of us knew Mango already since we scouted him for the DSFL draft. He is an awesome user who really seemed excited about the possibility of being here in Austin, so we are thrilled we were able to make it happen. Mango is exactly the type of player we were looking for this draft because he puts the team first, and he has done a great job earning during his first season in the DSFL. We are excited to get him here, and we can't believe a player like him was available in the third round. We think he is going to be a big part of our team for plenty of seasons to come. Mango, welcome to Austin. Yeah, stoked to have Mango here. It's going to be super fun. All right, next up, OCO is on the clock.
And so with the 31st overall pick, the Orange County Artists proudly select a trade.
A trade.
Trade alert.
Sarasota is basically giving us a second round in next season, and so we felt that, yeah, we could give them up. We felt bad enough for them with the IA bidding. So go ahead, Foss.
All right. At 31 overall, Sarasota Sailfish are gonna select Salim Spence, also known as Stadium Gambler, the user. So this player, I have absolutely no idea how he fell this far, and when I saw that he was still available in the third, I was ringing every team to try to see if we could trade up for him. This stuff, honestly, just the fact that he fell this far is insane to me, and happy to have the two top TP leaders of this class in the same draft. Portland pipeline is real.
Sorry, I was hitting the wrong button.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. We are super excited to have Exlade in our locker room. He's been super active ever since he was invited. Great guy, talks a lot, gonna fit in well with our younger players, and yeah, gonna be a running back of the future for sure.
With the 33rd pick in the draft, Berlin will be taking Logan Anderson from user Clues. DeWalt said this guy's a new user, his first player here, and he seems interested in the sim and very motivated and fits a huge position of need with their D-line approaching regression.
All right, moving right along. I realized that my microphone was muted for that, I think. All right, New York, you are on the clock.
Yes, that's me again. So with the 34th pick in the draft, New York will be taking DeAndre Chugs, XQC famous. This is a great value pick in our point of view. This guy just got announced as the new Norfolk GM. So to get a user like this in the third is pretty crazy. So we're really excited to have him on the team and to get him involved in our locker room. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Moving right along. San Jose SaberCats on the clock.
Oh, that is me. At 35 overall, San Jose is going to select Willie Miller, user Sebster from London. So while his TP's low, I've seen him a lot in the London locker room, and he is going to be good. I also have some notes on him. Trop spoke very highly of Seb, having spent the last season with him in London, and we think he has a lot of upside, and they're excited to add him to their stable of defensive backs.
Absolutely.
You've been anywhere in London locker room, you've seen this guy. So, good pick.
Well, I'm just going to jump in because I have something from the London GMs on this pick. They just want to highlight that part of the reason his TPE is so low, but he's drafted this highly. He was in an active 8th round pick in the DSFL last season. It was really impressive on behalf of the London GMs, the London team, and Seb himself, because he's rocketed his draft stock all the way from being in that round of IAs in the DSFL draft all the way up to being a upper pick here for San Jose. So it's really exciting to see a user develop like that. Just insane, honestly.
God, that's my favorite. I love when that happens. All right, Yellowknife, you were on the clock.
And the Yellowknife Wraiths, they're going to make the best pick ever, and you guys already know that's a trade.
Trade alert.
God, look at that cap space. that glorious, glorious cap space. And I guess Baltimore gets this pick too.
Right. Baltimore, you are
So-
now on the clock.
Baltimore trading up again. First, Frick just wanted to shout out the Yellowknife guys for being so nice in negotiations, just shipping off some cap to let them trade up here. And they're going to take user Shiny, David Ramzik from the Tijuana Luchadors. He's a really well-known SHL user. A lot of people know him over there. He was a favor crate, I believe, which will be why the TPE is so low. Just, kind of comparatively, but from our scouting notes in NOLA, he hadn't missed a single task since actually creating. So he gets the affiliates with SHL because he's a max earner over there. He's a proper defensive tackle. And he's the Baltimore War Room was really excited about bringing in somebody from the who's a kind of proven user and add him to the locker room.
Absolutely. Berlin is now back on the clock.
And with this pick, Berlin will be taking Jacob Rask from CLG Rampage. DeWalt had this to say about him. He said, "I know that CLG is probably going to be disappointed that he fell this far in the draft. This is a user who sets their expectations very high for themselves, and I have no doubt that they will have the ability to have a second Hall of Fame worthy player. I look forward to seeing them excel with Berlin. In our time as GMs together, CLG is a great person with a great knowledge of the league and looks to get involved as much as possible." This is Berlin's third quarterback in this draft.
The triple option.
The triple. Will we see a quadruple action? Only time will tell.
All right. At 38 overall, San Jose SaberCats are going to select Red Arrow Jr. from London Royals, from the user Red Arrow. They have some scouting notes on this guy from CK. Red Arrow is someone that I've known for a while from PvE, and with Monty about to start regressing, we believe that he has the potential to be their franchise quarterback moving forward. Red Arrow is obviously a GM in the PvE, and with the affiliate task, he's probably going to be a max center over here as well. And with, obviously, as CK said, Monty regressing, needed a QB, and Red Arrow looks like to be that guy.
It is a hashtag QB run in the draft now, folks. Moving right along. At 39 overall in the third round, the Colorado Yeti will select Amy Wong, user Pazuzu, cornerback from the Norfolk Seawolves. About user Pazuzu, Colorado Yeti had this to say. "Safe to say we've got a couple of Norfolk folks in the Colorado locker room and war room, and all of them were beating the table for Paz with this pick. Paz is a long-time Sim League vet, a solid earner, and known for some really great players in this league. Drafting Paz and Alcott in back-to-back rounds gives us some flexibility in our secondary moving forward, and we're excited to see what the tandem can do together long-term." Great stuff there from Colorado. Oh, it's me again. Next up, 40th overall in round 3, the Austin Copperheads will select Siege Cameron, user CJ McCarley, cornerback from your Kansas City Coyotes. Ooh, man, I am absolutely stoked about this one. This is going to be the steal of the draft. I'm calling it right now. CJ is a fantastic user in Kansas City. From the TP level, you would think maybe not a great earner, but that's actually because they were pretty late create and IA for a tiny bit of time, but since they've come back and fully integrated, they are earning like crazy. And yeah, this is going to just be an insane steal for Austin here. And Austin gets a great user on top of that. So Siege Cameron, welcome to Austin. And moving on, Nola is on the clock.
All right. With the 41st overall pick, the New Orleans second line will be taking that cool guy, Type N Pete. This is a pick that seemed like a perfect fit for the locker room. Knows a fair few people on the second line. SHL user, a Sim League pro. He's a fairly relaxed guy, but he's really a pick here as a user addition and getting somebody for the locker room here.
Absolutely. All right, with the last pick of round 3, OCO is on the clock.
And Oko will proudly select with the 42nd pick Dallas Dole, a kicker punter with the username Dally Pole from the Dallas Bird Dogs. Now, this is not someone who I know all too well, but Oko obviously in the market for a kicker, and my guy Rev was just absolutely gushing about this dude, and I think that we're very excited because we've heard that they've been developing greatly in Dallas, been really getting into the league, and we're hoping that they can continue to just really enjoy the league with us and hopefully be our future for a long while.
He was an absolute steal for us in Dallas in the last draft, and we were so happy to have grabbed him where we were able to, and he's great to have in the locker room, and you got a great one there as well.
And his render is the new franchise quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, you know what? That's
I'm not at all upset about that fact.
So happy Russ is still a Seahawk.
Oh, goodness. All right, round 4, ladies and gentlemen. On the clock now are the Yellowknife Wraiths.
And so, with the 43rd overall pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths will proudly select Luke Waterson from the user Ezra Yeet. He is a linebacker who, funnily enough, has the same render as their first round pick, and I believe that they said that. Give me just 1 second, sorry.
All I can say is you better have a fishing bot in Yellowknife because he needs
So,
it.
this is their third Luke Kuechly render.
Oh, also, it should be
Douglas
noted
Quaid
that
is one.
Ezri was actually active as of the other day. Late joiner, but Zoot and Fly had really great conversations with them, and they're really looking forward to doing what they can to help him stay active.
Fishing bot.
Fishing bot. Alrighty. With the second pick in round 4, 44 overall, the Austin Copperheads will select Darius Smith IV, user Rockies fans forever, a safety out of Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Did I say Bondi right? I hope I did.
Yeah, you got it.
Very good. I actually personally scouted Rockies fan and had a really good conversation with them, former PBE user. And I believe that they're only doing ISFL right now. So, this is another potential big steal here. Can always, use more bodies to beef up the defense, beef up the secondary. And so, yeah, Rockies, Darius Smith, welcome to Austin. We're glad to have you. Next up, Oko is on the board.
Fun. And with the 45th overall pick, and thankfully our last in this draft, the Orange County Otters proudly select Toy Robot, another kicker / punter from the user Grok from Portland. And this was, the draft is winding down a bit, and it's getting late, especially by British time standards, and Gabe just messages me saying, I really like Grok, and I think that we'll be able to get him active. So we're really happy to have Grok. At the very least, if they never earn another TP again, they'll still fit in great with Oko and our locker room. And anything that improves the locker room is a good pick, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Good stuff right there. Philadelphia, you were back on the clock.
With the 46th pick of the draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Magnet Ruby Gary, O-line from Norfolk. Jimmy was super high on this pick, so I'm going to read a little snippet from him. Magnet may have fallen in this draft, but he has a first-round personality. He was voted as the offensive captain in Norfolk and has been a scout for them. He was a constantly positive and supportive influence for the Seawolves during the good times and bad, always serving as an inspiration for the team. We know that he'll be an integral piece of Liberty culture, and we are dedicated to helping him earn and make him a Liberty lineman of the future. We're incredibly hyped that he felt us here. Ring the bell, Ruby.
Ring that bell. All right, moving on. Berlin, you are on the clock.
With the 47th pick, Berlin will be taking. I'm not going to try to Henry. Just Henry.
No
It's or Henny even. It's Sorian Tyler's player.
Any ticks puck ball.
And thank you, whoever said that. Anyway, from DeWalt, he said another recreate. ISFL user and a great PBE user to add to our team. Simo spoke very highly of Sori and will make an excellent addition to the locker room.
Absolutely. Very good stuff there. New York, you are on the clock.
All right. And then with the 48th pick, New York will be selecting a trade.
Trade alert.
Beep, beep, beep.
Thank you. Looks like Colorado receives New York Silverback Season 28 Round 4 Pick 48, and New York will receive Colorado's Season 28 Round 4 Pick 53, Philadelphia's Season 28 Round 5th Pick 60, and Colorado's Season 29 Round 3. So that means that Colorado is now on the clock with the 48th overall pick in the draft. Colorado will select Lux Opal, user Quail, from the Tijuana Luchadors, who is also a safety. Let's see if they have any notes here. First of all, they have trade info. We still had one name on our board who we really wanted a chance to take, but thought several teams might stamp them up before we got a chance to draft them again. After making some calls, we settled on this trade with New York to move up and get the user we wanted, packaging 2 late picks in this draft, plus a 3rd rounder in the next draft that probably doesn't convey, and even if it does, it's probably an IA. Felt like an absolute no-brainer to move up for a user we really liked. About user Lux Opal, the Yeti had this to say. Deep into the 4th round here, and Lux was always the pick for us if we were able to move up and get her. I absolutely loved Lux in scouting, having had a fantastic discussion with her about our favorite documentaries, as well as other things. When we took Paz in the 3rd, I thought our chances of getting Lux were all but gone, but she continued to drop. We called around trying to move up just to take her. Luckily, we found a trade that worked, and we're happy to have her join us here in Colorado. To get an active so late into the draft feels great, but more so, we feel strongly we've gotten a fantastic user here. Welcome to the Colorado Animal Farm, Quail, with a little heart emoji there. That is phenomenal. Very good stuff there,
Look at
Colorado.
that amazing tattoo.
Yes, and also Twin Peaks reference. Love it. I think that's Twin Peaks. Anyways,
Yeah, that's Twin Peaks.
San Jose, you're on the clock. Who's got San Jose? Ross is at you.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry. I was zoning out there for a little bit. At pick 49, the San Jose SaberCats are going to select LeBron Brady Jr. Users Jackers. You can't really go wrong if you have LeBron and Brady combined, their son. It's the perfect thing there. I have some scouting notes on him. He's actually not inactive, I think. Jackers entered the draft. This is notes from CK, by the way. Jackers entered the draft with slightly lower TPE, but only because they created just before the trade deadline. With Ask Madden knowing them from the SHL, they had him on their radar very early as a potential steal in the mid-late rounds, and they ended up taking him there.
Alrighty, moving right along. Arizona is on the clock.
And with the 50th pick of the draft, Arizona selects Brooks Bain. Jay Hattie is the user, LB out of Minnesota. So Crunk sent me a little message about him. Jay Hattie stood out to us in our scouting. He's a Sim League vet and has great graphics ability. We believe he'll make a good addition to our roster in the coming seasons.
Absolutely. Moving right along. Oh, you're back up.
I sure am. And with the 51st pick of the draft, Arizona will select Peterson, Rainbow Dash kicker punter out of London. We knew Peterson as a vegan velociraptor from Discord, and honestly, that name alone is worthy of our pick. He's been active and enthusiastic in the London locker room and represents great value at 51. We think he can be a real contributor in the future.
Absolutely. That is former quarterback for the Kansas City Coyotes, Matt Peterson. Who
Goat.
we loved there, and stoked to see them enjoying their new kicker punter position. Congratulations. Moving on, Baltimore is now on the clock.
All right, with the 52nd overall pick, Baltimore will select Jack Mart, Jack Perpuntke, out of Minnesota. So this is what Frick would like to use his steel card on. So this is a late joiner, but has done a great job. Has done all his Ultimus tasks. Is making graphics. Very talkative in Minnesota. And the Baltimore GMs had some other GMs messaging them after they made this pick, saying that it was their next pick if he were to fall to them. So they feel really good about grabbing a steal here.
Absolutely. More value for Baltimore. New York, you are now on the clock.
And with this pick, New York will select Tahini Humskad. So Humskad is actually the PvE commissioner. And although he's very busy over there, some people in our war room were pretty confident about getting him to come back and start earning again. So with this pick, we might have gotten a big steal here, honestly. So we're pretty excited to have Humskad on our team.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with offensive line either. Baltimore is now back up on the clock.
Christ, I have 5 or 4 of the last 5 picks here. All right. So 2 picks later, at 54 overall, Baltimore will be selecting Beefcake Johnson. Frick would like everybody to know that his name alone is worth the pick. And this is where Frick's updating comes in handy with a semi-active user, because if they can get Il Mario 7 back updating more regularly, instead of just kind of where he is semi-active and get him more involved in the league, this is going to be a huge steal for them. And taking those flyers is really important in a rebuilding stage, because if some of them pay off, that's how you can turn things around.
Fantastic. Beefcake Johnson. You love to see it. You are back on the clock with Noah this time.
All right. So with the 55th overall pick, New Orleans second line will be selecting user Funnyman Luke, Miles Merritt. So a direct quote from Myth here. It's all in the name. His name is Luke. He's a man. He's funny. So obviously there's a trend of New Orleans drafting luchador players. This is the 3rd luchador that Nola has taken. But the second line defensive line has been building steadily, and they're looking for the future with this pick. That he'll be a long-term ad. I know he has done some the game nights in Tijuana, so a lot of fun to have around in the locker room. So we're thrilled to have him.
Absolutely. And Tom Hanks is just carrying this draft now. Back up with Baltimore.
All right. This is actually where my my notes from Frick run out. So with the 56th overall pick, Baltimore will be selecting the Grit Girder, user Miller from the Portland Pythons. So this is a user that while is currently IA, has a ton of TPE, so clearly they were definitely heavily involved at some point. So getting them back might be easier, like I mentioned with the last Baltimore pick. Have to kind of take these sorts of flyers, because when you're rebuilding, if they pay off, that's a huge advantage. So just grabbing a guy that I thought might be the easiest of the IAs to bring back to full activity right here. And hope it works out for him.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong with just having a potential return of an IA. And we are on to the coveted 5th round in this season 28 ISFL draft. Baltimore, oh my God.
Guess who's on the clock? With 57 overall, the first pick of round 5, the Baltimore Hawks will be selecting Kenzie Cups, Sibby Cups, user again from Portland Pythons. This is an offensive lineman, and it was kind of the same deal as last pick. They're just they figured that this was going to be one of the IAs left on the board that they thought they would have the best chance of bringing back and getting back involved in the league. Hopefully, they can get them excited about being part of a long-term rebuild and get them added to the locker room and the roster.
And hey, you can't go wrong with 0 sacks allowed.
And I just like to imagine that render just blocking like 300-pound D linemen that run 4.4 40-yard dashes.
Doing it spectacularly.
And good too. No sacks allowed.
0 sacks allowed. Nobody gets past her.
Nope. A brick wall. All right. With the 58th overall pick, Austin Copperheads will select Alexander Vasiliev, user aimbot Alex, from the Portland Pythons, who is a wide receiver. Do I have notes here on this? Hey, I don't believe we have notes because I believe this might be an inactive. I apologize if I'm incorrect. But you can never have too much wide receiver depth, and I've heard good things about this user when they were active. So we're stoked to hopefully get them back and get them hanging out in the locker room, hanging out with all of us great people over in Austin. So aimbot Alex, when you're ready, welcome to Austin. And that is OCO back on the board.
And with the 59th pick in the ISFL draft, the Orange County Osses will proudly select Lawrence McCoy, running back, for the fight. And of course, we start with the Ducks, and of course, we've ended with the Ducks. It's a late pick, but at the same time, we believe that we saw some possible signs that they might be coming back and that we might be able to get some activity there. And really, I just love to bring another user back into the league.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong there. New York, you are on the clock.
And with the 60th pick in the draft, we will be taking Brandon Prince from user Void. He fell a bit further than we thought he would, so we decided to go and give him a shot. He seems really excited to prove himself, and he's been pretty active in rookie chat. He just posted an update that was about like 60 TPE or something. So he's actually more around the 180 TPE range. So we're pretty excited to get this guy playing for us in New York.
Yeah, I think he had like 20 TPE that he never claimed. That like was found recently by Laser in an update, which is pretty nice.
It's like finding buried treasure, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on.
I'll tell you right now, this was the one I was saving my steel card for all draft. I mean, this guy is super active.
I forgot that we had steel cards, but this is definitely my steel card.
Easily. I used Fricks, but mine was being held out for this pick here because when I was talking with some of the other picks, we were going, oh yeah, this is the most likely IA to come back. Like Brandon Prince is active in Discord regularly, wasn't the best at updating regularly, but was still around, was earning TPE. Like I think this is going to be a long-term big pick for New York here.
Absolutely. We'll see how it plays out in the long run. Berlin, you are on the clock. Berlin,
Zane.
you are on the clock.
Zane.
Zane.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
that time, ladies and gentlemen.
Zane.
Yeah. All right. So with the 61st pick in the draft, Berlin will be selecting Bjorn Bjorg from the Kansas City Coyotes from ASU. And the only reason I didn't realize is because Laser didn't actually write me a note for him. But He's got 65 TPE, so hopefully he comes back. And if he does, that'd be a pretty nice player. And I love that render in the background.
Oh yeah, you gotta love Noah going all out on these renders. You know, even for an IA offensive lineman, it just shows dedication. But yeah, this was a pick that was IA immediately, unfortunately for Kansas City. But hey, there's always the chance they could come back. You never know. I was IA for like 3 weeks when I first started, and look where I am now.
I mean, I was IA for my first week.
New York, you were on the clock.
Yeah, okay. I know this time. With the 62nd pick, we will be taking
Sorry.
Mark Higgins from the Dallas Bird Dogs. I'm using Markwell. So this is another guy who's pretty inactive right now, but he's still in all the ISFL locker rooms, so there's still a chance that he might be able to be savable. So at this point, we'll take what we can get. So hopefully Mark comes back to us.
Absolutely. And I would just like to make an addendum real quick. I have just received possible word that the Austin pick from 58 overall, Alexander Vasiliev, might not actually be IA.
Ooh.
I'm getting some conflicting reports here from different sources, but we might have got a complete steal here. More info on that to come as the story develops. San Jose Sabercats, you're on the board.
All right, San Jose Sabercats at 63 overall are going to end up taking Don Bradman from the user Hurls. No notes on this guy. He's inactive. However, he was a third-round DSFL pick, so he did show potential at one point. So maybe they talked to him on forums. He'll come back.
And that is all we can do in the end is just hope. Yellowknife, you are now on the board.
Bloody hell, I forgot I was doing Yellowknife. With the last pick in the ISFL draft, the Yellowknife Braves select Archie Griffin, a running back from the Norfolk Seawolves. Yeah. Good boats, you know? Love those subs. Shout out Norfolk. Draft over, please.
Shout out Norfolk indeed. All right, moving right along. Is that the last? I believe that. Yep, that was the last.
Last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one.
That was the last
Ladies and
one.
gentlemen, that is the end of the season 28 ISFL draft. We made it.
That was a fairly fast one.
Yeah, I think so. And there were so many great picks. Yeah, I want to shout
Especially
out all the
those
users.
Sarasota picks, pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Philly class, best class.
It's just stoked to see a lot of Kansas City players go in the first round like that. That really, really feels good. And
I remember messaging some of the ISFL GMs. Like I messaged Hall about it because Baltimore took 1 and 2, and I was just talking about great Kansas City's prospects. Where I guess I was the only one really hype about it among the ISFL kind of group, because they were like, yeah, no, I mean, we drafted the user, and I was like, no, Kansas City was fantastic.
Honestly,
super stoked, man.
I really liked how scouting KC and Minnesota, because I believe those two teams in particular just had incredible draft classes this season. Of course, all teams have incredible draft classes in the DSFL. DSFL's great, but extra shout out to KC and Mini.
Absolutely. I just think, this was a great class overall, and we really appreciate all the users who have put in their effort in their rookie seasons, whether they be recreates or, sim veterans or brand new users. It's fantastic to have you all here, and we look forward to continuing to help you out, watch you grow, and get to know you even better as you transition into your ISFL careers. Anyone have anything to end us off with?
Thank you for hosting again.
Yeah, and of course we can't end without Frost Sucks.
Frost sucks.
Hey.
Lamau.
Hey.
Big true.
Bye, overdue.
Why are you just talking about Sill's kicker? That's a weird statement to bring up.
All
I
right.
hope everybody enjoyed the draft.
Yeah, and whether you're the first pick or the last pick, we're really happy to have you in this league.
Yep, and if you're
Absolutely.
active, you'll find a spot on the team.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And if you watch this and you're inactive, please come back. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, that is the end of the Season 28 ISFL Draft. I have been Whatamus. Thank you so much to my fine friends on this panel for helping me out this evening. Thank you to HO and everyone for facilitating this so we can have and continue to have just fantastic draft experiences. Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Go Philly.